Hello friends and welcome to the June 2025 MMO Monthly. Now if you're new here, this is our monthly series where we go over all of the biggest news on the MMO scene for the past month so that you can be fully caught up on all the stories that have unfolded. For more MMO guides, reviews, news and more, make sure to subscribe to my channel below, but even if you don't, we have a lot to talk about today, so let's just dive straight into it. Now our first story today is a bit of a sad one, and that is that Hytale has officially shut down. Now if you haven't been following the development of this game, that's probably good because you haven't wasted all your time, but if you have, like I have, you'd know that Hytale was a planned Minecraft-like MMO Lite that was based on the most popular Minecraft server in the world, Hypixel. In fact, it is created by the people who run and created that server, Hypixel, and was set to be pretty much like Minecraft in the sense that it has the procedural generated world and the blocks and all of that stuff, but unlike Minecraft, it was set to have way more content and way more social interaction. Also unlike Minecraft, it never released because before being cancelled, Hytale had been in development for 10 years, 10 full years without so much as a single gameplay test available to the public, which I think makes it worse than Star Citizen. Now it was bought by Riot Games back in 2020, and it was Riot Games that actually shut the project down. But that said, given how little we've gotten and how long we've waited, I think it's probably safe to say that the fault of the murder of this game lies in the hands of its own creators. Okay, that's kind of a bar. Anyway, we'll probably never really know what actually went down in Hypixel Studios and what went wrong with Hytale, but there is some discussion going on the good old social media that the former CEO of Hypixel, Simon Collins LaFlame, might buy the game off of Riot using crowdfunded capital. Now, I don't really know if that's a great idea because, I mean, look, it's the same person who ran it before and, well, we don't have a game. So I don't necessarily believe in it anymore, but it's still a sad day. Hytale had a massive amount of hype around it, and it kind of always sucks when a new MMO project gets shut down, but you know, that's just kind of how it goes sometimes in this genre. We just gotta live with it. Okay, so for our next story, do you guys remember Blue Protocol? That whole Japanese anime MMO thing by Bandai Namco that was supposed to come out last year, but then it kept getting delayed and then it got cancelled? Well, it just released in China by Bokura, a subsidiary of Tencent. That's right, Tencent bought the game from Bandai Namco and released it under a new name, Star Resonance, just in China. Now, there are a few key differences to the original game. First of all, Star Resonance is a cross-platform game and available both on PC and mobile. And while I never really got the hype around mobile MMOs because, I don't know, it's just kind of uncomfortable to play, I guess, on a tiny screen when your fingers are like taking up half the screen. But if you do like playing mobile MMOs, then that's going to be good news for you. Secondly, the game is much more open world and has a ton of strict classes that follow the whole tank, DPS, healer trinity that we've all come to know and some of us have come to love. Lastly, it just straight up has a ton more content, from player housing to dungeons to even life skills, and a ton of other things that, well, most big successful MMOs have for good reason. Now, the reception of the game so far has been actually really positive. It looks fun, it looks feature complete, and while there is some pay to win reported, most of it seems to be cosmetic with some small amounts of utility that so far players have been pretty happy about. But there's a big but, these are Eastern audiences. Eastern MMOs that release in China and Korea usually have ridiculous amounts of pay to win, like insane amounts of pay to win that would never be tolerated in the West. So the player base in the East is a little bit desensitized to pay to win, so keep that in mind as well. But anyway, here's the big question. What does this mean for a Western release? Well, turns out it means a lot because Bokura have actually announced that Star Resonance will be releasing in the West this year. Now, we don't know when this year, but since the game has had a lot of success in China and is obviously already in a fully playable state, it does seem like we'll actually finally get to play Blue Protocol. That's kind of a hard name to say actually, now that I think about it. We'll finally get to play Blue Protocol sometime this year. Now, whether it'll be good long term and whether it'll be fairly monetized is totally up for debate, but honestly, I don't care at this point. I'm just happy to get new MMOs. Okay, so our final story of the day is a bit of a happy one so that we can end on a high note, and that is that BitCraft Online has now launched in early access. Now, Okay, hang on. If you haven't heard of BitCraft Online, it's okay. A lot of people don't actually know about this game because it kind of flew under the radar a little bit, but don't worry, I'm gonna quickly catch you up. BitCraft is a sandbox MMO with a persistent open world that players can modify by building, destroying, crafting, fighting, and all sorts of other things. It promises a ton of social content, and it looks like it's jam-packed with a lot of things to do. Honestly, you can even think of it sort of like old school RuneScape because it does feature gradual progression on a bunch of different skills. I'm not gonna lie to you, I wouldn't even blame you if you think of BitCraft Online as what maybe Brighter Shores wanted to be. Anyway, the game is buy to play for now, but the developers, Clockwork Labs, have stated that it will be free to play when it eventually launches fully. Though when that will be is still a mystery to you and to me. You like that little rhyme? Now, there is no pay to win mechanics, and they promise not to add them in the future. Though that sort of promise on paper is worth nothing in this genre. So we'll just have to wait and see if they kind of stay true to their word. We've been burned by these kinds of things before, and honestly at this point I just don't take promises like these at face value. Now, full disclosure, I haven't actually gotten a chance to play it yet, so I won't tell you whether I think it's good or not. But since launching, BitCraft Online is sitting very pretty at a mostly positive rating on Steam, with 76% of the 1,300 plus reviews being positive. That's pretty rare in an MMO at all, but this is a newly released buy-to-play MMO, and it still got really good reviews. So that, is a pretty good sign. I probably will be playing it though, so do keep an eye out for a proper review, maybe coming in the future. But for now, I am super excited that we're getting new MMOs. It's MMO season, baby! And so there you have it. That was MMO Monthly, June 2025. Now, we covered a lot today, and I have been yapping for like 7 minutes, but I really want to hear what you guys think. Are you surprised about Hytale shutting down? Are you still excited for Blue Protocol even though it's been cancelled and delayed and all sorts of things have happened to it? And more importantly than any of those, are you gonna play BitCraft Online? Let me know all of your feedback in the comments below, the good, the bad, but please, not the ugly. I don't want the ugly. Either way though, make sure you keep an eye out for more MMO content coming soon. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.